let me just kind of put this out there. It'd be very hard to be a vegan like I am and be homophobic. A vegan literally can't be homophobic.
Welcome into the Clear Mud Podcast. I'm Peepaw Riveter, and to my left there, I guess right rather, would be the one and only Banana Grabber. We're also joined. We're also joined by the commentary's latest golden boy, Nerdy John. And
hello.
Hey, how you doing, Nerdy? So
I'm good.
Well, that's awesome. Guys, we joined together like this. It doesn't seem like just the other night, a couple of nights ago, where we were discussing, and I thought hopefully for the last time, about Quantum TV, the Act Man, that whole mischief.
This is the end of the trilogy.
Yeah, even yourself, Nerdy John. I mean, you were part of that whole storyline, if you will. And so I really kind of hope and thought that we would be done with it. We would put this behind us. We were over with. No, that decided that wasn't going to happen. The internet gods, as it were, decided that wasn't going to happen. We on this podcast. Let me find. Is this it? No. Where's the stinking ass? Here we go. Okay. So if I could, I guess for just a second here, I'm gonna bring up. This is our podcast from I guess a little over a week ago. It was on a Friday night. We did a special podcast, and I wanted to play out this one little segment of our podcast. This is at the very beginning of the podcast. We're like, we had done all of our jaw jacking and whatever that we normally do.
Excuse me.
Yes, and that we do at the beginning of the show, right? And so we were getting into the whole story, right? And there was a little section because after all this stuff popped loose over this last week, Banana reached out to me. He said, Hey, Peepaw, are we going to have to go back and are we going to have to do some corrections on our video? And I told him, I said, no, I don't think so. I think we had a good take on this. But I wanted to play this one little section here of this video.
First of all, there is one correction that we do need to make. Okay. And that is I should have been more thorough with looking into the screenshot specifically about Mischief's copyright strike. I took it as basically above board.
Yeah.
But I really should have looked into it a bit more. Tommy pointed that out big time because even big guys miss that shit. So
yeah. There was some. Well, yes, and I know after all some of the stuff came out and stuff, I actually put a tweet out and I said, I really feel like I have egg on my face now.
Encroached a tiny bit.
Because. And I did, I did tweet out, justice for Hash, for justice for
Hashman,
for the Hashman, for the Ackman. And because I felt like, the guy was kind of getting a raw deal, and I don't know so much if that's the case anymore. I think the Ackman is getting. Unfortunately, I think that man is getting exactly what he asked for because of his actions and his behavior. I think that YouTube is his sole source of income.
Yeah.
But,
he does have a Patreon.
He does have a Patreon.
He just hasn't promoted it.
Okay. So, the thing of it I'll say is this. YouTube is like any other job, right? Every job has their policies. They have their code of conduct. They have things they say, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And if you don't agree with those rules and all of a sudden you decide to have a disagreement with your boss in a very open and public situation.
Very emotionally childlike
yes,
way.
Yes. And
yeah, like
and
I did a lot. We did a lot of shitting on Ackman, but like
Yeah.
really, I mean not Ackman. We did a lot of shitting on Quantum TV, but Ackman really fucking did a bang up job. He had like a layup, and he just straight up,
he pulled a
tripped on his shoelaces.
Right? I think he kind of pulled an Amber Turd. He shit the bed. I think that's an accurate,
Like I remember trying to be so charitable for him too. Yes. And then like he ends up pulling all that crap with Tommy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we're fixing to get into, Nerdy. But I just wanted to play this it's just a little segment of our stream, and I think this kind of pretty much sums up. And this all happened before the Tommy thing, right? So I want you to just kind of listen. And I'm not going to say I was prophetic or we were prophetic or anything of that nature, but I think we kind of had a feeling in our gut. We had a something that was not quite setting right for us. And so anyway, that being said, though, this situation to me, we have a thing down here in the South, right? And it's like this, right? When you get a bunch of rednecks together, they start doing really stupid ass stuff. And it becomes a situation of watch this and you hand your beer off to somebody else, right? Because that indicates hold my beer. You're fixing to do something even more the next level up. And I feel like, and that's exactly what we had, boys. Or at least I feel like that's what we had, right?
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. And so
also shout out to y'all in the chat, JFA Picklington, Mrs. Abby Blackbird. She says hi sisters. Hi sisters.
Yes.
Bye sisters.
So anyway,
no makeup palette for you.
No makeup palette for you.
Yeah.
No morph palette for Ackman.
So guys, kind of
persona non grata.
Help me please kind of make sure that I keep things sequentially in order, because there's just so much shit that we're having to unpack here that's happened.
Yeah.
So Tommy being Tommy, and I don't say that in a disparaging way. I'm just saying Tommy is who Tommy is, just like Banana is who Banana is, Nerdy is who he is, and I am who I am, right? But Tommy being who Tommy is, and Tommy is very skeptical.
He's cynical too.
He's cynical, yes. He doesn't trust people at a drop of a hat. He listens to what you have to say, and then he starts using his years of doing this stuff and just years of living and being around people. You know, some people have this innate ability to smell.
Called experience.
Yes, you can smell when there's something not right, when there's something rotten in Denmark. And Tommy's nose for that it's really good. He has an extremely good record. Has he screwed up? Yes. Has he made mistakes? Yes. But his what was it? What did you call it the other day? We was talking about this, Ben. His KD ratio.
Shot caller. Yeah, his KD ratio is.
Yeah, he's way in the positives. He is way in the positives, right?
Well, like to give the audience who probably already has a good idea of what happened.
Yeah.
There's a thing called soul reading in poker.
Yeah.
And it's where you call immediately what's going to happen or what the player has across from you.
Yeah.
You know what they're up to, and you let them know you know exactly what they're up to.
Yeah.
And that's what Tommy did. He straight up called this happening.
Sure.
In one of his streams. He said Ackman's going to show his hand.
Yep.
Based off of their interactions.
Yep.
By Tommy applying pressure to Ackman.
Yep.
And a lot of people got really mad at Tommy for some reason for that.
Yeah.
Saying that he was like shooting in the dark or something.
Well, no, but there were people out there saying, "Oh, you're supporting Quantum," and he wasn't doing anything at all. He was saying
by being critical of Ackman.
He was saying
soul reading.
He was not taking everything that Ackman said at face value. Right? Okay.
Well, not even that. Not just Ackman, but Mischief and what's the other guy, Nerdy John? Something. What's the other guy's name?
I don't know about I don't know about this other guy, but I definitely saw Mischief was trying to like say that Tommy purposefully made
Like
Ackman
manipulate.
do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he somehow like pulled
Yeah,
the string, like he's a puppeteer.
like I want to be somewhat like I want to be a bit kind to Mischief. The dude shouted me out. Part of the reason why I was able to make
Okay, so
1K
resident
mark.
fence sitter John, he disavows
Camelot,
our
yeah.
statements.
But no,
Camelot,
but no,
that's-
But like
yeah.
he was being stupid with that statement because because Mischief is like he's having this weird thing of like they should just watch my videos. But like if you have the person who's involved in the situation right in front of you, or you have the ability to message them, then it's best just to ask them for the information and not watch 100 videos on the subject.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, so Tommy, he put out this tweet and he did some other thing. Goes, I'm known for getting it right long before it became a thing. I'm Alex. First hit was in 2017. He also got he didn't have this in there, but he also busted FaZe Banks in 2017 too, when it came to the that whole situation when him and his girlfriend at the time was at that club that evening. John Swan, John Swan, he got 2019. This is the Ackman 2022, and so then Ackman Can says the smoking gun you're looking for that clears quantum TV doesn't exist. If into the archives you search, only pain will you find. Okay, and Matt Pitt, who's Tommy's producer, said for the millionth time, we're not trying to clear quantum TV. You keep going back to this. You can be criticized while also us knowing that quantum TV is a horrible person. Does that make sense?
Well, here's the thing too. Like, if you're so sure that you're above board, you have been completely in the right here. There's no kind of wrongdoings on your part. What fear do you have, or why are you backlashing so hard against Tommy's skepticism? Why,
I'm sorry, Ben, but like Tommy even admits this himself. He does not have the influence that he did back in the day.
That's not true. Like he's downplaying himself so hard when he says that. That's 100% false. That dude has the best black book. He's the YouTuber's YouTuber. Yeah. I know you were just saying what he's saying, but like he's completely wrong about that. He's being humble.
The point is, Actman did not need to focus so hard on Tommy. Worst case scenario, he how he would have won was if he just ignored Tommy and then continued like trying to get the YouTube stuff down. He would have proven Tommy wrong, but reacting the way that Tommy predicted, you proved him right.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing too. Miss Abby Blackbird says, "Yo, but wouldn't have Papa Gut been right first and foremost?" And it's like, Abby, I did listen to that Nicholas Diorio stream with Mudahar. It was what's his name, Willie Mac, Papa Gut, and then who else? Stardust was in there.
Yeah, Stardust randomly. Bunk was in it at one point.
Yes, there's a lot of people in there. I don't remember Papa Gut going to. He was being kind of critical towards Ackman, but I don't know how much of a shot calling. Yeah,
the way Papa Gut does it is he's very he approaches drama in a unique way. He kind of does it for a political angle, but he doesn't go like super hard at you. Like he'll be kind of charitable, but he'll still say his point. Well, you should have been doing this. You should have been doing this.
Yeah.
He has a great voice.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. He does.
Papa Gut takes I would say, kind of a soft hand, where Tommy is a whole lot firmer. And
a wrecking ball, a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
also, make sure you like the video and tweet it out. We appreciate you for being here today.
So Bo Black's quote tweets Tommy. Bo Black says, "You're known for taking shots in the dark at people all the time and hoping that you're right so you can brag about it to the 100 viewers on YouTube. Remember Illuminati? You were 100% sure she was a good person let's see, a good person to the point of letting her have access to your YouTube channel.
Mute that motherfucker! Mute that motherfucker!
What
I'm
the
tired
hell?
of him interjecting when I'm trying to make two simple points. Holy shit!
Oh, I'm sorry, Bo Blacks. Damn, I'm sorry. But even Bo Blacks came up.
It would make sense if like Tommy didn't have a clear record of calling things and then giving evidence as to why he made those calls. Bo Blacks may be tweeting a little emotionally here. Tommy doesn't just. Maybe he has like shot blankly in the dark before, but we're all frequent viewers of Tommy's, so we've seen him time and time again have like clear cut reasons for why he does what he does.
Yeah.
And list it out and say this is what I think is going to happen, and he's hit more than missed.
Yeah, and so Tommy, Tom. I don't know what the proper analogy here would be because Tommy all through his thing used poker, and I'm not a poker player, and I don't know all the different things. But what I am is I'm an old man from the South, and what I will say is Tommy threw some bait out there. And Ackman bit on the bait.
You went fishing, is what you're saying?
Ackman swallowed the bait clear down past his assholes, as we say here in the South. What do I mean by that? Well, this is what I mean. So Tommy did another stream, and he commissioned and paid J Station to do a video, and it was a little comedy skit, goof on. He calls him Ant-Man's mom, and he does a little goof. And so Ant-Man has a complete total meltdown. He publicly says that this was he was wrong for doing this and that it could lead to a strike. And then he starts going around to different people. One of the people that he went around in private to, is Nicholas Diorio. And he sends a DM to Nicholas that says, "Oh boy, Tommy C about to get a strike if I have anything to say about it."
Oh boy, and folks, wait until you hear what he blames this on.
Yeah. So
nice.
Anyway, needless to say, now
you can tell. So that's him being bad faith. He showed his hand. He said, "Oh, he's playing the game that Quantum TV was playing." Just to get even. Yeah. And anyone be damned. Regardless of if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yes.
Type mentality is what he's doing.
And like, here's the thing, right? No one is saying that the Act Man had to like the joke, especially when it's at the expense of his mother. Sure. Of course, like I don't think anyone would expect him to like the joke. But the sheer threatening of Tommy's channel because, well, actually on YouTube, you're not supposed to be hosting people who are banned off the platform.
Yeah.
He's not hosting him. He's featuring him as an actor. He paid, or maybe paid or had him just do a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like that sets, I know Willie says it a lot, but that sets a dangerous precedent because then like anyone who ever interviewed Alex Jones, anyone who has like the meme clips of him those can then get taken down by that logic, because you're featuring Alex Jones, even if it's like making fun of him or something like that.
I don't think they'll ever take the Alex Jones clips down because they rake in like 30 million views, like those type of things. I mean, that's just too much of a click.
The best example that I
know, but that's just a counter example to show that like there are some instances where they show a clear hypocrisy with their own logic, and I think it's more because like it's profitable to keep those videos up on the platform, even if they are kind of add-ins with their facing outward moral beliefs, like their public stances. So it's just everything's dependent on like money. It's like if you fuck with their money, you're gone. Like if any way you cause a ruckus for them, it's like you shouldn't expect the livelihood or the lifespan of your channel to be very long. And that's why I think Tommy's angle is too. He said that I may be jumping a little too far ahead, but he said Quantum TV is just because they're like freaking out about Quantum TV. It's like his channel's not going to last that long. Like with the shit he's pulling.
Yeah. I mean, his channel was already dead.
Sure.
Quantum's channel.
Yeah.
Because and like here's the thing, when I started talking about him, right, I didn't go in with the mindset of let's take his channel down. It was just another dude on the internet that you made a video clowning on. That was it.
You're talking about Quantum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like that's the thing these people don't understand. What really frustrates me is like that's the line between cancel culture and just commentary criticism.
Mhm.
It's like you can critique somebody's work on the internet, and I think the commentary community, in some sense, and not drama, like the actual commentary guys, they serve a really good purpose, which is to kind of quasi gatekeep by informing the audience of like the shortcomings of larger YouTube personalities or like what they're up to. So they're like in kind of like the most
A reality check, kind of.
they're the incel investigative journalists. They're like they're gatekeeping against the shitty content creators on the platform by making sure that they're everybody's above board and they're not fucking around behind the scenes. So I think they serve a good purpose in that aspect. And it's like if the cancellation happens, that's on the viewer's behalf of them going, I'm not going to watch this content. I'm not going to support. I'm not going to consciously support something that is like harmful for somebody.
Yeah. Now, when you bring in outside forces in on the YouTube drama, like family members, like what Quantum did, especially with the Act Man's mother, then I think you have a case for like why he should be off the platform, because we talked about that on the other show. Because like you're actively like digging into information, and then you're actively like threatening, intimidating, harassing.
Here's the thing.
Members.
Here's the thing about that. It's like people kept saying, he didn't dox Quantum TV because Quantum TV didn't dox Ackman because Ackman's information was public, but he didn't dox the mom because he didn't spread that information. That may be a semantic argument, but what he did is so fucked up that I think it's okay to just say doxing. Like, I mean, we have that little...
Especially the recording where he's like, we wouldn't want family members to get involved now.
Well, it's just like... Why go to that level? Like that's, and I think we already made this point, so I don't want to rehash it too much, but like to go to that level, to like have a little Discord doxing party. We have the screenshots of that, by the way. To have your members of your Discord, and again, there's no evidence that Quantum organized this. There's just evidence that his head mod, Anonymous, did all this to find the information on Ackman and his family. That goes beyond like something a normal sane person would do. So, I don't know.
Here's what I'm saying. I kind of want to close the chapter on the Ackman part of this equation today. And I kind of want to move on to the focus of what today's is about.
Sure.
Ackman, I think, I asked this question back a week ago this past Friday when we originally talked about all this. And I asked you guys, and I wanted to follow back up this question again. Do we as a group, because I don't want to speak to anybody and put words in anyone's mouths, where do you stand now, Banana, on Ackman regaining his monetization on YouTube?
Well, here's the thing about that. I've made the argument, and it's hard to make a nuanced argument in a 2-hour platform, like a 2-hour podcast, and have people retain that, like stay through and to hear all the nuance. So, like, people will listen to the past 2 episodes and go, "I'm a Ackman like indicator, like I'm some kind of like warrior for the Ackman crusade." Sure. It's like, no, I think these guys are both dipshits that started a big airing your laundry out party on the front lawn of YouTube's, like headquarters. Basically, like, does that make sense? Like they're being white trash outside. Yeah. And this is the biggest need not to have happened event in the history of YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. There might be bigger ones, but the thing is like in a perfect world, I think free speech is a must, in that neither of these guys should have anything happen to their channel, but they should be, the audience should be aware of their shitty behavior. So Fair enough. They should be able to do what they want to do and say what they want to say. Yeah. Even up to, I don't know, the doxing thing might warrant some action. But again, it's hard to prove that because he didn't do it on his channel. My thing on Ackman is he's a big fucking douchebag, and he's no better than Quantum TV because of the lengths he's willing to go to fight the war back against Quantum. Okay. So he's the same. He's just the same. It's the same side of he's a different side of the same coin. essentially.
And
Okay.
yeah, and I have like the same viewpoint on that because like ironically, if he had just did what we were all suggesting Quantum to do from the beginning, just ignore it and move on, none of this would have happened. Literally,
Mhm.
remember, right, folks?
You can't do
folks,
that when you need to fight every war, though, because you can't let it go. Can't let anything go.
Yeah. Here. Like I'm looking into the webcam for this one. Here's the thing, folks. We need to remind you that this all started over an Elden Ring review. This entire saga started simply because someone couldn't ignore someone being critical of their review.
Yeah.
It is,
And to note, it was somebody who reviews things all the time and gives
And don't
their
talk
opinion
shit about Elden
things.
Ring.
Yeah.
I can understand that. You don't talk shit about my favorite game because I will have a complete autistic meltdown. I understand that.
I remember you did when we went over his review.
Here's the difference between me and whoever got mad about it.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy enough to like dox somebody over a fucking crazy, critical review. I mean, I don't know. Color me.
I think
different.
I may have a little bit different stance
built
than
different.
you two on this.
Yeah.
And here's
Okay.
what I will say. I think that I am a freedom of speech absolutist, and I believe that all speech should be allowed, period. But that does not mean that you are guaranteed a platform on YouTube or Twitter or wherever, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Okay. Just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that you have the right to say whatever you want to on any of those platforms. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost. Secondly, just because you are on those platforms and just because you meet the thresholds that YouTube dictates that you have to receive monetization or to be eligible for monetization does not mean that you should be monetized. And just because you got monetized doesn't mean that you'll necessarily keep it if you misbehave, right? I go back to the analogy that I said. If you have a very public argument with your boss, right, and you make some really stupid public statements, jokingly or not, don't necessarily expect that you're going to continue to get a paycheck from that boss. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Yeah, I want to address some viewer comments real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Let's see. Where was I going to start from? Cucumber Dave EST says Cucumber TV is actively doxing Ackman now on his second channel. We actually have evidence of that. And that'll be later in the show if we're going to show that. I can't remember.
Yeah, we're going to go over that.
Ackman got baited, says Pipklington. JFA calls me an Ackman lover. Dave EST says it was a shitty review by Cucumber, but he couldn't take the criticism. JFA says G Fuel sucks, too much sweetener. Go fuck yourself, JFA. G Fuel is amazing. And there's there's some discrepancy with like whenever something says sugar free, it can be like corn syrup or some other kind of sweetener that is still technically sugar. It acts like glucose in your bloodstream. So it's like that is kind of like there's sugar free and then there's dietary. Diabetic? Which there's like a different brand. There's like a different name for things that actually are sweetener free. So
my dad has type 2 diabetes, and so they have this sweetener that's like diabetic friendly.
Yeah, so it's like dietary sugar free or something. But like, just be careful if you're somebody who can't have a lot of sugar. Don't trust sugar free because it could always be something else.
Yeah.
It could be like sugar alcohols or something else. Abby Blackbird says, "Not the move." And then Anonymous 007 says, "Kide, what I got was Ackman's a proven racist." I mean, he said a bunch of naughty words. I don't know if that proves in his heart that he's an evil man. He's probably just being edgy, like most 2015 type, pushing the envelope comedy people on the internet. But anyways,
there's no proof that he's racist to any degree.
You can't look into his fucking heart and read his mind and be like, "Oh, he's a racist because he said X, Y, and Z." It's like maybe if he made an argument for like what we should do to a certain group of people, then we can have a talk about what's going on in his head. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, Riveter showed me like a screenshot of like Quantum's community post of him saying, because Act Man's Discord server is called the Act Clan, that
Oh, for
means
fuck's
he supports the KKK.
You know, I thought you were about to say that Riveter showed you screenshots of Ackman in like a KKK uniform or like.
That's exactly what it was.
All right, let's watch this video.
All right,
Riveter's been
so
waiting.
this video that I'm bringing up here on screen is a this is a video that Quantum.
By the way, real quick, I'm so sorry, but real quick, this is really important to say.
Yeah.
Tommy was right when he said that Quantum TV may actually believe that he has a legitimate claim when it comes to his filings, the situation with his filings. So he may believe in his heart of hearts that he has legal grounds to take those videos down. And it's like, if that's the case, pursue it in court. Go ahead.
100%.
Like, because that's another thing I need to correct on, by the way, is I said there was malicious intent, but now I'm starting to believe, due to the nature of how Quantum TV has been acting, like the congruence of his behavior, that he genuinely believes he has a legal claim here.
Oh,
so whenever I say malicious, I think I really should walk that back. I don't know if it's malicious.
I still think it's malicious because like you can genuinely believe you're doing is the correct thing to do, but it's still malicious in action.
I think if you go around, one of the things that Quantum repeatedly says in this video, and he talks about, is how these larger YouTubers like Rich over at Review Tech, the Act Man, are using their.
Certain cheat is like talking shit in the chat. Hold on. He says, quote, "We can't reach an Act Boy's mind." Quote, "Quantum is malicious." Again, I'm correcting it now. So you're just being a fucking shithead.
We got a Quantum fanboy in chat, boys.
No, for real.
Okay, so
no, that's the guy from Bunk's server. He got to fucking stick up his ass because I went after Bunk for having bad faith and going after my buddy, trying to ruin his credibility online. And now he's just like, "Meh."
So anyway, so one of the things that Quantum has said in
oh, my bad,
several of his
he was agreeing with me.
Several of his recent videos is his complaint is that he has been all right, I want to make sure I get this out in a proper way. Quantum's complaint is that these larger YouTubers, these million sub YouTubers, are bringing the weight of their YouTube following down on him. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to say. And he shows evidence, and he's shown evidence where there are people who are sending him some very racist and threats of violence, things like that. Those people are 1,000% out of line. I have no, you'll not hear anybody on this stream or on this channel ever support any type of actions like that. That's out of line. Okay.
Yeah, and then like creators, like especially creators like Charlie, Mudahar, and I think even Asmongold, even Rich, like they never advocate for their fans to harass people they talk about. Never. Yeah. Like Mudahar in the majority of his videos even has the disclaimer like, "Do not harass anyone in this video."
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Gamer. We are aware of that.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Actually, Anonymous and I have had a couple of different Discord conversations back and forth.
We actually tipped him off to help out Quantum, to be honest.
Yes, I actually reached. Yes, I did. I reached out to him because.
So that should prove we're good faith.
Yeah, honestly. If anybody has been in good faith with Quantum through this whole thing, for the Act Man for that matter as well, I can say, and I have been the most unbiased in this whole situation. When I found out that Act Man's blog channel that he ran, or website that he had, there were people over there who were posting Act Man's real name, and one of the addresses that he has lived at. And
Oh, you mean Quantum, not Ackman.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Okay, yes, thank you.
Correct.
Quantum's one of Quantum's previous addresses. I don't know if it's his current address or not, but was an address that he did live at one point in time. And phone numbers.
And to the people, by the way, to the people that get mad at us for doing for you for doing that, because you should really take credit there. If it was me, I would have let it just fucking hang, which means you're a better person than I am. But to the people who are critical of that, two wrongs don't make a right. Eat it.
What else?
And Riveter, what was the first, like, when you showed me that people were trying to dox him?
Yes.
What was the first thing I did? I disavowed it. I said, yeah, that's going way too far with it.
Yeah.
And
Look, I don't think it's right, but I wouldn't have fucking moved a finger to help him. But Riveter said, no, that's not right. Two wrongs don't make a right. So we did the thing. We did the right thing.
And
sorry, I keep cutting off.
Yeah, and so I would have reached out directly to Quantum, but he blocked me on Discord because he did not want to have any type of dialogue. And that's one thing that I'm going to chastise Quantum on this. Quantum says that nobody has done research. Quantum says that nobody has made any type of attempt to hear his side of what's going on. And I challenge him because I did that. I 1000% did that. I reached out to Quantum back when all this stuff first started, and he came in with his 60-something thousand channel, and he threatened Nerdy John, who at the time was a 300 sub YouTuber, and threatened to file a DMCA takedown because he used his picture. That was what his gripe was. And I reached out to him, and I tried to reason with him, to try to, I wanted to ask him some questions. I wanted to try to figure out, where is this young man coming from? Where is his headspace at? And I tried. And so I invited him to come on to the podcast here. I invited him to come, and for what little platform, we don't have a huge platform. I don't have a huge outreach, but I offered this platform to him to come and present his side, and it would have been.
He doesn't need it. He has a bigger platform, but yeah, for what it's worth.
For what it's worth, I offered this. So when he says that nobody has done anything, that's not factually true. Or at least from my standpoint.
And here's the thing: Willie tried to reach out to him too,
yes,
and
he did.
Willie, you can anonymous if that is his main mod. You can correct me on this. He had to do all of his contact. He had to talk to Quantum through you, despite he wouldn't let Willie directly contact him. If you have like these weird channels of like, oh, I'm sorry, you need to go through this person to contact me. Oh, what's this? You're asking too many questions. Block. I'm sorry, but Quantum has made this very difficult for people to reach out to him.
Riveter, may I address comments real quick, or do you want to respond to John?
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there, bud. What's that?
No, it's okay. May I respond to two comments in chat real quick, or do you want to respond to Nerdy John's thing?
No, I don't. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Anonymous 007 says, what are your thoughts on Ackman's tweet saying, quote, if we see you, Quantum, we shoot on site, end quote. That's a quote. And then the other one is Anonymous 007 says, we never released an address or a phone number, just his full legal name and birth date, because it's on Kel's own website.
Okay.
Well, then how did you get the mother's phone number then? I'm curious. I'm really curious.
Here's what I think. If you Google somebody's name, Google your just for the audience's fucking experimentation. Put your own name into Google, and if you're somebody who's registered to vote or you've lived at multiple addresses, if you're an adult, there will be some information from one of these third-party sites that you can pay for, but they list it publicly on like a little teaser banner. Yep. So you on that little teaser banner could be a connected phone line, which is somebody, say if you were connected to your mom's phone line or your dad's phone line as a part of a family plan, it could list their number thinking it's you. And so they'll say so-and-so at so-and-so, here's their phone number. And he probably saw one of those sites and went, call. That's what I'm guessing. Because it's like one of the first three.
It's not only that, but it also show possible relationships depending on the site, right? So here's the thing. All right, so since I don't necessarily want to get derailed here, Anonymous.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
But what I'll say is this: is Anonymous is correct. Okay. They never published that I could find, because I'm in the Discord server still. They never published Ackman's anything to do with Ackman's mom. They never did. What they did do, however, is they did take screenshots of Ackman's bio off of his website with his name and all the stuff like Anonymous is saying. And then they did go in and they showed how if you Google his name, what comes up. Now, here's the problem when you do something like this, whether you guys want to admit it, whether or not you guys want to recognize this or not, but this is the truth. When you put that stuff out there, and when Quantum himself in his videos said, I Googled his name, go out there and do it yourself and see what, you can find what's out there. You can all this. He is, whether he intended to or not, he is directly telling his base, his supporters, this is how you get Ackman and his family's information. He pointed the gun, he aimed it, and said, here's the trigger, here's how you do it. Okay? Now, I'm not arguing, Anonymous, I'm not arguing one bit that it was on the free site on his, how to book him. It was on his booking site, how to book him to come to an event. The problem is you took that information, you went and then started randomly, because here's the thing, and Quantum says this himself, he randomly started calling people with the same last name. And the first two people, there was no answer, and then the third person that answered was his mother.
And then I also have this question, Anonymous. Quantum had DMs with Actman on Discord.
That's correct.
Why didn't he just reach out to him directly? Why didn't he call him on Discord through that? I understand that the initial messages on Quantum's side were not pleasing, especially from his point of view. He found Actman to be difficult. But if his whole reasoning is, well, I just did it so that way I could reach out. Well, then why did he reach out to him on Discord?
But it's more than that. He refused to have a voice conversation with Ackman because Quantum wanted everything in writing, right? Okay, So if he wanted everything in writing, then fine. Why didn't he use the email address that was listed on his contact on Ackman's contact page? Why didn't he start a dialogue via email? I'm sorry, there's no other way to put this. When he called his mother, and he made the statement, we don't want to drag families into that. That in itself is threatening in nature. I'm sorry, there's no way to put that.
Okay, we gotta continue with the story though. I know we're responding, and this is kind of riveting content because we do have a member of Quantum's TV, but we do have
Anonymous. Call in if you want. I'm curious.
Yeah, you can call in. We have a link to the Discord in the description. If you would like to call in, we'll be completely fair. I'll shut up. Whoever you want to speak to directly, the other two will mute, and we'll go from there. But as for the show, we do need to push it forward a little bit because we are running. So
anyway, let's get into, because I want to break down some things that he says. We're not going to go into a whole lot on this, but there's a few things that I want to address that I think that from my research and what I've done and dug, I don't think he's being truthful. I'm going to say he's kind of like what Ackman did. He was misleading and not fully coming forth with a lot of, like the situation with, he knew why he was demonetized, but Ackman didn't come forth, right, and didn't say why he's being monetized until he went on Philly D. You guys remember that, right? And that's when he said, I didn't know what I could say or couldn't say, right? So he was
he's also really dodgy on a lot of details too. That's what I didn't like about it. And that's the thing I think Tommy sniffed out as well.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to break down some of the things that he says initially in his thing. I want to show things where I think the Quantum is not being really honest and truthful here.
Because I'm some homophobic, transphobic piece of shit menace, copyright abuser that doesn't belong on the platform, These are talking points that Review Tech USA and the Act Man have put out there. And it's because of these talking points they've inspired hatred. And I need to talk about this as a content creator, as a YouTuber, and as a person, as a husband, as somebody who is just a human being in the world dealing with a true injustice on the platform, which is larger YouTubers using that influence when they don't get the result they want. They don't get to just demand YouTube around like the bullies they are, and YouTube gives in. Then they start painting everybody as a conspiracy theorist, a sympathizer towards hatred, and labeling me as hatred. The fact is, this is happening because they don't like me and they want me removed off the platform. And we're going to talk about all of this. I don't care what side of the...
Okay. So, he talks about how there are these large YouTubes are coming after him. I wonder if Quantum ever, and this is what I was saying earlier, I wonder if Quantum ever really gave thought about that, because when he initially went after Mischief, Mischief was was he like a 2K sub, 3, was he even
4K?
By the way, if I haven't made it abundantly clear too, I also took the angle that I was bashing him for the gay tweets and stuff. The homophobic tweets and all that he said were, not deleted on his channel. You've seen the evidence for that, so we don't have to retrace it. But now that Mischief and what's the other guy?
Actman?
No, not Actman, the other one.
Camelot?
Who's that third guy? Camelot. Mischief, Camelot, and Actman have acted so fucking crazy about this shit.
Yeah.
I think that I take everything they say with a grain of salt about their fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So
I think it's still valid to make fun of him for the tweets, though, especially his reaning being, to go on
a cancel crusade, and this is what made me so angry about, because in the last episode I did I was going hard at him for those tweets, but I was never making an argument for cancellation, saying that try to do the same thing that he's doing to them. So that, but that's what they're doing. They're trying to say, look, he's a homophobe. You should get him off the platform.
Yeah, and to even out the playing space, Quantum is using his using his race as a way of deflecting criticism a lot of the time.
So anyway, let's get on and listen to some more of what Quantum says here.
The argument you sit on, but there is something that has to change here, because now it is spilling over into real world conduct of hatred and to malice that can lead to
I
worse.
agree with that statement. So, it has definitely spilled over. It spilled over when you called his mother. It spilled over when people started doxing Quantum. It spilled over when they went after and started doxing his wife. I agree. This situation has completely and totally spun out of control. And the thing about it is that nobody wants to admit, or nobody is willing to accept that they have stepped over the line. Quantum stepped over the line. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm not going to get into the whole copy, the DMCA takedowns or the threats of DMCA takedowns. I'm not talking about that. That was within his rights as a YouTuber. If he felt like what he was doing was validated, because within the copyright screen it came up and said, shows this channel used X amount percentage or whatever of your content, and if you felt like that was a violation of your rights as a creator, then 100% follow DMCA takedown. Let that proceed through the channels that it has to, through with YouTube, and then ultimately, if it needs to, let it go through the court systems. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. Quantum stepped over the line when he decided to start randomly calling people based upon a Google search that he just happened to get lucky enough to get Actman's mom. That was a step over the line. That's when we went from this back and forth YouTube, yada, 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 to now we've taken it and we have went into real world. That's where, that was the first step over the line, where this became from online to real world. And then so he stepped it over the line. And so now guess what? Because he did that, and then he wants to say, well, this is not doxing, and this is not this, and this is not that. Act-Man supporters are going to then in turn say, if he says that this is not that, then I'm going to do the exact same thing. And guess what? Quantum's stuff is out there. His real name is out there. His address is out there. Everything that can be found out about Quantum is out there and is publicly available. It is publicly accessible. Okay? I'm not going to tell you how to access it, but I'm telling you it's out there. And people accessed it. They found him. They found all the cookie crumbs that exist out there for him. And guess what? They turned around and used that information and started doxing him. But guess what? This isn't the first rodeo, guys. This is not the first time that Quantum has dealt with this crap. When I started digging and I started looking into this, this is an ongoing thing with Quantum. This goes way, way back. This goes back to 2017, 2018. This is not new. This is not new territory. This is not the first time that, I was shocked and I couldn't believe when he called Rich over at Review Tech USA. He called him a pedophile because he liked a streamer by the name of Vosh. And just because he liked that streamer, that validated and said, okay, because he likes this guy, and because Vosh made some arguments for some things that I don't agree with, now that equates to Rich being a pedophile. Well, that's not the first time he's done that. He had beef with this other guy by the name of Westside Tech. And they were having beef back, and we're going to get more into Westside Tech because Westside Tech has some interesting information. He called him a pedophile too. Here's the thing about it. Here's what I would say, and I know Rich is going through some stuff. I know he's having some issues with YouTube now and monetization and threats and this, that, and whatever else, right? What I would say is this, and I'm not a legal scholar or anything like that, but at some point in time, the only way this is going to be stopped, guys, the only way that this comes to a head, as it were, to come to stop, is the court systems are going to have to, unfortunately, I'm afraid, get involved. What I would 100% do if I was Rich is I would look at procuring a lawyer. And I'm sure he has all those videos and all that stuff backed up where Quantum was calling him a pedophile and the reason and justification that he used for calling him a pedophile. And I would take him to court and I would sue him for slander. Right?
Yep.
100%. That's what I would do. That stops it, right?
This is not the move. Doing this bullshit performative gassery on Twitter and YouTube is not the fucking move. You're going to end up harming not only harming the platform, harming yourselves in the process. You're going to nuke both of your channels by doing this. That is 100% the outcome.
Look what happened with the Keem and Ethan stuff. I mean,
exactly.
God,
YouTube,
they almost lost both of their channels over this.
And you don't make nearly as much money for YouTube as those two do. So here's the thing: they will be the point is, you're like, well, YouTube's acting hypocritical. They're not enforcing their own standards. That should be a tip-off to you to see that you're both going to get nuked because they don't give a fuck about their standards. They're just going to say, make the problem go away. And this is, again, a point Tommy made, but it's a very good one, so I'm going to repeat it here because we have you as a listening viewer, Anonymous 007.
Yeah, look, okay. If they were willing to do that to Act-Man, give him a warning strike, demonetize him, and it looks like he's going to be permanently demonetized. What do you think they're going to do to Quantum's channel? Whether or not he's banner evading, they might just snap their fingers, get rid of that channel, or take away his monetization. And since he's such a smaller channel, if he opens up a Patreon, it's not going to be like with Act-Man where he could still make a living off it. It would be it would basically like all progress his channel would make.
So exactly. And the thing about it is if Quantum and the whole thing with Quantum, all this started is he felt like people was infringing on his material, right? His content that he created. And fair enough. That's how you feel. And you believe that your understanding of the 4 pillars of fair use was being violated. then what he needs to do 100% is he needs to procure a lawyer, and he needs to take those people to court, and he needs to let the legal system settle this out. Period. That's it. Now, as far as all the rest of the stuff, we can sit here and we can talk about this stuff, and we can say, this is where this, and the thing of it is I don't know at this point in time if the actors within this scenario, none of them is blameless. Every one of them has things that they need to accept accountability for.
No, it's a white trash family fight. They're all outside their trailers airing their dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I saw her. She was at the bar with Mickey, and
Yeah.
Mickey said, "Yeah, it's that shit." I mean,
So anyway,
I saw
I
you
know-
with Billy Bob.
I know you were sleeping with Billy Bob. My cousin told me.
So I wanted to get into some more of this, and I wanted to break down some of the things where I think quantum is, like I said, there's some stuff where quantum makes mistakes.
Kite 79 is you're way off base, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. By the way,
What's that?
I mean, he's doing that hashtag. I'm not even gonna fucking say it. I think he's alluding to something. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. That's why I asked you to explain yourself. But I don't know about that one.
Try
Go
to
ahead.
clear up some of these fallacies. So please try to listen unbiasedly, as again, I'm just trying to set the record straight for anyone willing to actually listen to the facts. The Act Boy has created a lynch mob. I never ban-evaded. I never doxed anyone.
Okay, I want to stop right there. This is something that quantum has 100% talked about. Goes, I've never ban-evaded. Okay. So this is the first thing that I want to break down about ban evasion. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I'm bringing up here on the, you should see here in front of you. Actually, let me do it this way. I think this is a bit easier to see it this way. This is a YouTube video. This was a YouTube video that is made by a person named MR4K Upscaler. Okay.
It's a
M4
lengthy name.
Upscaler is doing a shout out to Quantum Apotheosis. Now, Quantum Apotheosis was Quantum's first YouTube channel that had he'd had some success in it. At this point in time, it shows here that this was done back in April 28th of 2018. This has 13,407 subscribers that at the time. Okay. So in this video, he is giving a shout out. Now, if you look down here, here is a link to the channel. Okay. Now we're going to do this in real time so that nobody can say, oh, this is doctored. This is any of that kind of nonsense, right? This is live. This is real time. It's okay. So now, if I go over here to this here,
The Wayback Machine.
the Wayback Machine. This is the Wayback Machine. Okay, you see here, this is the Wayback Machine, and this here is from June the 13th of 2018. Okay, June the 13th of 2018. This is just roughly what about 2 weeks past when this guy gave him a shout out, right? Because this was put out on April the 20th of 2018. Okay. So this is about 2 weeks. And it says here, this account has been terminated for violating YouTube's community guidelines. Now, let's be honest here. Okay.
Let's be critical.
Let's be
Your
okay.
thinking caps on.
Is it possible? Is it possible that Quantum filed an appeal against his termination and got it back? Is that possible? Yes.
It is possible.
It is 100% possible. Has Quantum to date shown anything, either in any of his videos that he's made or inside of his Discord, to counter this? The answer to that is no. He has not shown anything publicly. And as far as what I had access to, I'm sure after this stream, because Anonymous is in the chat there, I'm sure I'll be banned out of the Discord after this, and that's fine. I think if they do that, I think it just goes to show that they do not want to have open and honest dialogue. I think that's clear to say, or
And,
fair to say.
in fact, hey, Anonymous, if he's able to, I don't know about you guys, but hey, if Quantum wants people to hear him out, I say bring him on.
100%. That extension that I offered, that I offered is still there. Now, okay, so we know that according to the Wayback Machine, that on June the 13th of 2018, I don't know if you guys can see that, but but right up here it shows this. This is on June the 13th of 2018 that the channel was removed. It was terminated. Now, if that's all that there was, okay. But that's not. This is a post from the now terminated Quantum TV blog. That blog is terminated because people had gotten access to that blog and were posting Quantum's information. They had doxed him over there. I brought it to their attention. I went to Anonymous because I knew Anonymous was his right-hand man inside that Discord, and I couldn't take it straight to Quantum. And I said, hey, and hopefully Quantum will say, yeah. So I said, I don't agree with what Quantum is doing, but he's being doxxed, and I'm 1,000% against that mess. He needs to be aware of this. Okay.
Well, yeah, and like let's all be clear. I know we've kind of already stated this, but we need to emphasize this.
I was about to say we already said it.
We are totally fine with all talking crap online. We're fine with that. But as soon as
I'm a free speech absolutist. I say horrible shit all the time online. Shit that'll get you canceled.
Yeah, but as soon as like to give criticism to Quantum, as soon as you involve someone's family or you involve doxing to criticize whoever was responsible for the dox of Quantum, like that's not cool. So
that's like fucking with people's livelihood outside of YouTube. It's just like, don't do it. Just fucking, and especially their families who have nothing to do with their. Let's just don't go to that fucking level. That's one of those things you just should automatically know in your head. Don't ever do. You don't touch family. It's like that's so beyond below the belt. It's not even funny.
So in this post, this was posted.
But again, hold on.
Yeah.
But to give fairness, even though it sounds like complete bullshit, because I'm not somebody who's like a fucking mind reader.
Yeah.
If Quantum called the number thinking it was fucking Act Man and got the mom, it's not like he went out to fucking find the mom. Now, if he found out it was the mom immediately after calling, he should have hung the fucking phone up and not talked to her, and then did this whole like leaning on her shit where he's like, he could be in a lot of serious trouble. Then
this is what confuses me. Because in the video he says, hello, is this the Act Man's mother?
Oh, that's a dead giveaway. He said that shit verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
He said that before the call, before anyone answered the phone.
Yeah, because
okay, then that's damn. That's not looking good for Quantum. So he was looking for the mom.
So anyway, in this post, he says, "I have been terminated for free speech.
Why bullshit?
I was already on a 2-week ban, but they decided to delete the channel anyway." Okay. This is Quantum's own words. Okay. Now, if that wasn't enough...
007, you are genuinely insane, dude. During the call, Quantum asked his mother several times you can put on content. He's like, the fact that you don't see how inappropriate it is to be asked to be fucking badgering the mom about her son's personal info. You do not have a right to fucking do that. If you have a claim, go get a lawyer, have them fucking find out who Quantum is, Act Man is, and go get the fucking info through like a private investigator. Do it off fucking internet, you actual psychopath. How do you not see the logic of that? You're so steeped into your own fucking little war. Sorry, River.
But again, he's really busy with work.
Yeah, you're at work today. Sorry, Sunday.
Yeah. So anyway,
Christ.
This next video that we're fixing, a little snippet. I'm going to just use a real small snippet of this because I want to reemphasize the fact, okay, that he did get terminated. This is Westside Tech. Now, back in the day, Westside Tech and Quantum, who was running under the handle of Quantum Apotheosis at the time, was having online beef, kind of like what he's doing now with Mischief, with Actman, Review Tech, even some of the other ones that he's came out after, Nerdy John, stuff like that. Let's just listen to it's just a little short little snippet
This
here.
real quick before you show it. This isn't going to show any of the shit that I was not okay with.
No, this has nothing.
Okay.
Let's listen to what he says here.
I gotta pee again.
This your boy Westside Tech, and happy days a day, man. Quantum Apotheosis got his channel taken down after he took my.
Okay, so Quantum Apotheosis, he says, got his channel taken down after. Well, let me back this up so I don't put words in anyone's mouth here, and let's listen to this again.
This your boy Westside Tech, and happy days a day, man. Quantum Apotheosis got his channel taken down after he took my channel down, complained.
Okay, so Westside Tech says Quantum Apotheosis got his channel taken down after he got his channel taken down. He goes on to say some, that they just had some little online, back and forth kind of screwing with each other. Now, here's what's important about this. This video that I don't know if you can see it here or not. Let me see if I can let me stretch this out here okay. If you can see this video here was uploaded on June the 13th of 2018. June the 13th of 2018, right? Let's go back to this, hang on a second, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Mercy, I'm sorry, folks. So we go back to the Wayback Machine, June the 13th, 2018. So the day that his channel was terminated, Quantum Apotheosis channel was yeeted off of YouTube, according to the Wayback Machine, according to the Quantum TV blog, and now according to, so there's 3 different sources that saying that his channel was banned. Now, does that mean because he was banned, do I believe that he should not be on YouTube now? The answer to that is no. I don't think that at all. Okay. Now, does YouTube's terms of service say that because he's banned, he doesn't need to, he can no longer have a channel? The terms of service says, yes, that's what, you can't do that. But to be fair, I don't think just because he was terminated, he should not be allowed to be on the channel. As long as he learned from the reason why he was terminated. So the question was why was he terminated, right? Now, this was all during the time, guys. If you remember when this story first started breaking, there was all those tweets that were shown where the hacker was making these tweets about homophobic statements, saying that wanting to know why the 2 girls that were dancing, recreating the scene from The Last of Us 2, why they were not part of the Pulse nightclub, victims that were murdered. Okay, the hacker that did all this stuff. And see, that's another thing too, right? He constantly says, I was hacked, all this stuff. I don't use social media, I did this, I didn't do that, I did whatever else. Okay. Well, here's a little problem with that. He says that he was hacked. Well, here's the only evidence that I've seen publicly that he has included this screenshot in his in one of his videos. I don't know if this video is still up or not because he puts videos up and he takes them down, whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. But this video here, this was a screenshot that was inside the Discord. He says, proof I was hacked and reached out to YouTube about it. Okay. We're not talking about YouTube. That wasn't where that information came from. That was his Twitter account. Okay. Now, his YouTube channel may have very well been hacked. I don't know. I have no idea. It's possible. Right. But that's not what we were talking about. We as a community were saying, hey, there's these tweets out here that has all these horrible homophobic statements. That's what we were. And he says, no. But this Twitter account that quote was hacked, all of a sudden just deleted. It was yeeted, right? Which kind of goes contrary, right, to what was actually him not having control of it, right? Now, here's another little thing that I found real interesting, right? When I started documenting and I started backing up stuff, right? Because I started doing files upon files upon files, right? Started cataloging stuff. One of the things that I did, okay, was at the time, Quantum had a Facebook page, okay? And he called it the Quantum TV blog, right? Now, if you could see right above this was all the stuff on this thing. And the reason why we don't have everything that I was trying to get was because Quantum went into purge mode. Quantum started deleting everything that he could. If you see this here, it says this video has been removed for violating YouTube's term of. So there was a video that was deleted that he had posted there. One of his original videos had been deleted by YouTube for violating some sort of terms of service. Now,
I will say though, it is a miracle that he magically got the accounts back while Rich of Review Tech USA was streaming and looking at those terrible statements that the hacker was saying. It was a miracle that he got them back just in time, right?
Exactly. Now, this is a smaller segment, video segment. It's only about 47 seconds long. Okay, but anyway, but you can see here, this was a post that he put out. This was on September the 9th, 2018. He said, and it says, "Good God, this is just too much." And the title of his YouTube video, right, was Marvel Spider-Man has multiple LGBT flags. Episode number 330, Marvel Spider-Man, hashtag Marvel Spider-Man LGBT. Okay. So let's just kind of watch a little bit of this video here that I have. And like I say, I was doing a screen capture and was trying to get here. This guy here says, watch Deadpool 2. They're pushing the gay agenda also. What WTF is going on with whatever happened to a movie without all the political and gay BS? Quantum says it died the moment people started tolerating LGBT. Stop tolerating them and their attack on normality. And this trash will stop. Speak up and stand your ground.
This is to be honest with you, I know you're showing the context here, but this is kind of a moot point for me because I really don't care if people have really terrible opinions online.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree either. But the reason why I'm showing that there's reason why, right? Because
I don't know why he would have to hide the fact, even if they were real tweets. Like, I get the optic reason why you'd have to disavow them, but like, for me, I'm like, cool. Your opinions differ from the rest of the population in a weird way. It's like, that's not something that you should be canceled over.
Anonymous, you say,
but I'm atypical.
Okay, so
you can be made fun of for them for sure. You can be made fun of.
Goof on them, absolutely. That's the difference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, goof. Like we can say, "Oh, you're a fucking alt-right Christian." It's like, yeah, sure.
So I want to address something that Anonymous said in the chat here. He said he didn't manage to get his accounts back. He had not realized what was the accounts until it was brought up after the fact of gaining his account access the way I understand it. And then he says at the time he was more concerned about his payment information on his PlayStation being hacked as well. I understand that. I understand wanting to get his PS account back because it had his credit card information in there, whatever. I 1,000% I get that. Here's the problem though, my dude. This is on his Facebook account. This was under a video where he posted. Did the hacker create the YouTube video talking about the LGBT flags inside of Spider-Man? I guess the hackers created that too, right? Is that what? Yeah, I mean,
good on the good on the hacker for at least still putting the videos.
Okay, so I understand that was his argument. I am poking holes in his argument. I'm telling you, I understand you're his friend. I understand that you want to stand up for him. I understand that you want to support him. I get that. Okay. What I'm telling you is he's not being truthful. If he has, or if he holds, or if he at one time had these types of feelings or emotions towards the LGBTQ community, fine. That's his right. I'm not saying it's not his right to have those feelings. Okay? He can have those feelings. He can feel that way. Okay? That doesn't mean that he's not going to catch shit for it. Okay? And there's the thing. It would have been a lot more believable. In my opinion, it would have been a lot more believable if he would have said, you know what? I used to think that way. I used to feel that way, but I don't. I was short-sighted. I was naive, but I no longer feel that way. Okay? That to me would be a whole lot more believable than to say, well, hackers did that. Hacker did this. I'm sorry, dude. There's too much that he cannot walk away from. And then in this latest video, this excuse that he has that I played, that was the code opening of this show, where he says it's literally impossible for him to be homophobic because he is vegan. What the hell? How does that how's that a thing? Seriously, how's that?
Yeah, because you know what, vegans are all homos. So.
Yeah, I don't understand that. How in the hell?
That's a great point.
Listen,
the disjointed logic is so great.
That's why I did what I showed. I understand. It doesn't matter if he believes that or not. I mean, he's entitled to believe that way. If he doesn't believe in same-sex marriages, if he doesn't believe in all that, that's fine.
Or hey, here's an idea. Maybe he believed that earlier in his life, and he has since changed his views.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's what I said, if he just came out and said, "Hey, I used to feel this way. I used to believe that, but I no longer do that. I no longer believe that way," that would have been believable. But to still keep saying this dookie, this bullshit, that was a hacker. I'm sorry, dude. It's just.
I need to point something out. This is very important. JFA says vegan gains versus banana grabber, ARM, WTES. Vegan gains would mop the floor with me. Have you seen that dude? He's yoked.
Yeah.
Genetically
although
gifted.
I will say, vegans who are gay, it's kind of a contradictory statement, because like you're vegan, but you enjoy a piece of meat,
a good old piece of meat. Good one, John.
Now you talking.
I'm just happy. Hey, look, I'm just happy that Syrup Them Cheeks is no longer lambasting me critically. He's on our side now.
Now and okay, so Joe, I hate that we even have to qualify this, or quantify this, or explain.
We
this.
need to get through this. I'm hungry.
Nerdy John is part of the LGBTQ community, and so if anybody would know,
bacon, tomato.
If anybody would know about enjoying a good piece of meat, it would be Nerdy. Okay, so he can make that joke and he can get away with it, right? So, but anyway, listen, guys. All I really wanted to do was to take to task some of the stuff today that Quantum is still perpetrating and putting out there. That I think, without a shadow of a doubt, we have proven here today is not factual. It's not truthful. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean if you like his TV reviews and his tech reviews, that doesn't mean that you can't still watch him and appreciate his
insight.
His insight on that, okay, or his views or opinions, okay. If he truly is homophobic or whatever, that's fine too. He's entitled to his views and his opinions. I'm going to say I think it's a little bit short-sighted but if he's a religious person and he's devout in his faith, I can understand why he might have those stances, as I was raised in the church as well, and so I understand where that might be coming from. But and I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to, chastise or condemn him for it. I would just ask him to maybe consider some things about what we were, as if he was, if he was raised in the church and he's truly a Christian. One of the things that I know that we were commanded as a Christian to do is to love everybody. Okay.
Riveter,
also-
Serapton Cheeks is asking a question. I'm not sure of what he's trying to ask. He says, "Are you pointing to the content saying he wasn't hacked, or the timing?"
Okay, so what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that the guy wasn't hacked at some point in time. I'm saying that is very well possible it was hacked. But what I'm going to say is this. Is that he says that he didn't make those homophobic statements. He didn't, and any of that kind of stuff. The problem is when you look at the video that I showed here, and I'll bring it back up and I'll show it again here for you guys so that there's no doubt in anyone's mind. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, this here is a post from his YouTube channel, or not his YouTube, from his Facebook page that is no longer. He deleted the Facebook page. Okay, but in there he linked to this video. Okay, and I can try to back it up here maybe just a little bit and show you guys here.
Serapton Cheeks, are you bunk? Are you bunk on an alt account? I'm sniffing it out.
Okay.
I think you're bunk.
So if you look here, this is a post that was made from September 9th of 2018. And this says here, good God, this is just too much. And the YouTube video that he's linking it, the title of it is called Marvel Spider-Man Has Multiple LGBT Flags. Okay. This was posted. This was one of his YouTube videos that he posted. Okay. Then if you go in here and we kind of expand this out a little bit here, you can see here where a guy was asking about Deadpool and about the gay agenda. Okay. And then Quantum comes back and says it died the moment people started tolerating the LGBT. Okay, stop.
Wait,
tolerating
Riveter, I think what he's saying is this is not definitive proof. Whether one, it's not proof that he's a bigot. It's proof that he posted some, otherwise optically horrible tweets. It's not proof that he was,
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? He's taking the very, very, very literal interpretation of the argument, saying like this is giving a lot of credence to an argument that has very not so much good footing. I think that's. Am I wrong, Serapton Cheeks?
All I'm saying on this
what
is
I
this.
think of it is.
All I'm saying,
To be
is,
honest,
or what my point
I don't care
is.
either way.
All my point is this: is that at one point in time, he was posting that stuff. This was not a hacker that was doing this. Okay, it's evident by the
Unless you want to say the hacker made the video.
But yes, unless the hacker made the video. Okay, that's my point, because the whole context was they were talking about there being LGBT flags in Spider-Man. Okay, that was the title of the video, and then they carry on the conversation. Now, here's what I'm saying. I think there's more than enough evidence to show that at some point in time that Quantum held those views. Now, he may no longer hold those views. He may still hold those views. I don't know, and I don't care. That's not the point. The point is that there's evidence that's contradicting him saying today, I'm not homophobic. Okay, maybe he's not today. That's fine. My point is he would have been in a better position if he said, you know what, I did. I made those tweets at some point in time.
Sarah, you're going to have to call in because we can't have this little back and forth over comments. You're really going to have to call in. You're really going to have to call in. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing. Because if you want to continue this discussion, we got to, sorry, for time's sake. Like I said, I'm getting hungry and I get a little cranky when I'm hungry. So we got to move on to the next.
Okay. All I'm going to say is that that's pretty much it. That's all I really want to cover today. Is there more that he said in this video that is I think factually inaccurate? Yeah. If you wanted to, we can get into the whole thing where, Nerdy kind of brought it up a little bit ago, where he put a thing out and was talking about how, I may even actually have that here.
You won't call in. Well, that's unfortunate. I wish you would, because you seem pretty bright and I would like to talk to you. I like your comments though. Thank you for interacting. He could have explained more if he had changed his mind, but that doesn't make contradiction to not say that. I kind of get what you're saying. And this is my initial problem with this evidence too. It's like, it's really not indicative of I don't like the whole mind reading thing. So I don't like this kind of portion, but for what it's worth, it gives more context to the whole.
But yeah, anyway, I don't have it here at my fingertips, so it doesn't matter. but he does put out a thing where he talks about how the Act Man has a Discord server. They calls it the Act Clan, and that's the ACT.
Oh, I think you sent it to me.
Okay, the ACT, and then CLAN. And now he's wanting to equate that to mean that to show that the Act Man is racist. My problem with that stance is this: the word clan, CLAN, is a old gaming term that goes back to communities or groups of people that would come together and play games. I personally was in a CS clan back in the 90s where I competed professionally playing Counter-Strike. And they were called clans, CLAN. A clan as a group of people that got together for a purpose. So I think he's being disingenuous there. But
I found the thing that you were looking for, River.
I don't think it matters at this point. And like I say, we went at about an hour and a half, so we're way kind of overdue here because you try to keep it to an hour.
Well,
I hope that I hope that today we've shown that there are some, to me anyway, there are some glaring issues with the story that Quantum is telling.
And Act-Man, for sure.
And Act-Man as well, okay? To me, neither one of them...
More Act-Man's behavior.
Act-Man came out, started in the very thing that he supposedly was railing against Quantum doing, okay?
He became the enemy.
He became what it was that he was fighting against. He legitimately did. And so for that matter, for that point, as far as I am concerned, I'm publicly going on record and saying that I no longer support the Act-Man. I don't, at this point in time, if he gets his monetization back, I guess good for him. If he doesn't get his monetization back, I could care less.
I only support two clans. One is Wu-Tang Clan. The other is SFTP.
There you go.
That's the only one.
Fuckheads for life, baby. So that's kind of where I come at with this.
Check your neck.
If so, I'll say
protect
this.
your neck.
I will put this out there, anonymous. Thank you for being in chat today. Hopefully, maybe you've seen something that will make you ask some questions. You could take this 100%. You can take this back to Quantum. If he honestly wants to open up a dialogue, a conversation, an honest and open dialogue, I'm agreeable to it. If he would like to come on here and have a conversation with me to refute anything that I'm showing or have discussed today, I'm more than welcome to do that. We can do, and I'll stream it just like we did here, so that it's not edited, it's not taken out of context. It will be simply, and I'll tell you what, I'll even do this. I will have it to where it will just be you, be me and Quantum, and I'll have Banana on here because this channel is half his. It's not just me.
Yeah, but one at a time. Won't gang up on him.
100%. We won't allow anybody else into the Discord to talk. It'll just be us.
No.
We will 100% allow him to have any proof that he wants to. And like I say, he very well, like I said, the whole ban evasion thing. If he wants to truly put that to rest, he should have received an email from YouTube stating that he appealed the ban and that he got it back, his channel back. If that truly happened, he should have that. And if he shows that, guess what? That goes away. That's no longer a talking point anymore, right? And that ends that conversation about him being a ban evasion, right? Now, as far as the other thing, he can continue to still say that he was hacked or whatever. That's fine. I don't believe it. I don't think he's being honest and truthful there. I think he's telling a little bit of a fib there, because in this day and age, he's afraid to say, yeah, I did that. And and I used to have those views and opinions. I no longer do it because he's afraid of what cancel culture might what do to him, and I understand that. But I think now the problem is he's went so far down that road that there's no coming back from there. He has to keep saying that, even though there's too much evidence that proves the contrary. So as far as what was the guy's name that was questioning whether he said he never heard Quantum deny being homophobic? I'll tell you what you do. Go back, watch the cold open of this stream today. You'll have all the evidence you want about him saying he's not homophobic. And then with that, guys, I'm done. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, Anonymous says I seem like a good dude. Don't go back and watch the other Quantum stream because I was really fucking mean. But I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'm done with this topic. I don't want to talk about Quantum ever again. I think we finally said all the stuff we needed to say. If he wants to talk to us, that's fine. I don't really care either way. You guys know me. I turn down shit because I'm not interested in the clout mechanics. I really don't care. What I care about is the integrity of this channel and being able to talk to people and having real discussions. And I think we do a good job of that here. I think I'm done. I think I'm this. Our viewers won't have to put up with any more Quantum TV bullshit.
I hope not.
And I know out of all of us, I've talked about it the most, but that was because I was talking about the story as it was developing. Yeah. And at this point, I'm done with the story. Yeah, I'm moving on just as well. If Quantum ever wants to contact me and we can have a discussion, I would be down for that 100%. Because I still want to hear. I would like to hear him out. But yeah, even if Actman gets his monetization backed, or for some whatever reason, Quantum somehow gets his channel taken away, or whatever happens next, I'm done with this story. Quite frankly, it's really boring me because we're all making the same points now.
I want to talk about Todd Chrisley again.
Yes.
Well, we will talk about Todd,
metrosexual man.
We'll talk about Todd Chrisley in October when he goes up for his. That's when his sentencing hearing.
I can't wait. That's my birthday. Do you know how awesome that's gonna be?
Oh, that's gonna be sweet.
There's some other stories out there I want to talk about. I want to talk about. I think is somewhat of a bit of an issue, a little bit of a story between me and Boogie 2988. I think that needs to be told. There's a story there I want to tell about that. That's probably going to be an upcoming episode at some point in time. There's a couple other stories we got out there. There was one that just happened this weekend, but because we kind of already had this planned and it didn't really mesh to it, that Banana wants to cover. And I think
happy birthday, Miss Blackbird. Sorry.
Yes, and I think we'll probably wind up covering it next weekend, which I think is going to be okay too. It's not going to be as it broke, but I think it's going to give enough time for all the cards to be laid on the table, and we'll have a little bit better picture. But there's a story that involved a YouTuber that we covered in a previous episode that we're going to revisit. I think it is interesting. But other than that, I want to thank all of you guys that hung through us today for this story. I pray that we do not have to revisit this again.
Oh God, I hope not.
I do hope the best for all the parties involved. I really do. I don't want them to lose their means to support themselves and their futures. I don't want that. But quite honestly, at this point, because of the way that everybody has behaved so poorly, I don't see how it is not going to happen. And quite honestly, if it does, it does. There's nothing I can do about it anyway, right? So,
hey, I have acted like a Chad throughout this entire thing.
Anyway, and with that, anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys go spend some time, hopefully, with your dads if they're still with you. It is Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the Chad dads out there. Salute to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth, by the way, as well.
That's also Juneteenth.
if you can, go subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. So Banana.
You're
I'm
getting, you're
sorry.
getting zero clout from us, by the way. We have
That's right.
100%
Do not-
audience crossover. All of our fans are fans of you already. Sorry,
Yeah, but
sorry,
anyway, yeah. If you haven't, please go check out Nerdy John. I think you're at 1.1K subscribers now, and you're slowly working your way towards monetization. You just got to get some more view hours in place. I know you're taking some big chunks out of that. He recently had some really interesting YouTubers on there with him. He had Matt, he had Tipster. They did a stream together the other night. So, Nerdy John's really starting to rub some elbows with some of the cream of the crop, as it were. But anyway,
you know what Ric Flair says about that? Or wait, it's not Ric Flair. Oh my God. Never mind. Sorry.
So
You're
anyway,
good. You're good.
You guys take care. Remember, keep your powder dry, and we'll see you in the funny papers.